Greetings everyone, this is Spot, and welcome to Stellaris. Yes, I'm a bit late on this. I would like to apologize. I've been in the middle of a move/construction project, which has went way too long, and yeah, it's wow. Let's just say it is amazing that I am even sitting here able to record this right now. It is a bare bones setup, but I should be coming over to you, and I'm also in a new room that doesn't have a lot of insulation, so I probably have a significant amount of echo. Pretty close to my mic, so hopefully we can mitigate the majority of that. All right, Stellaris is the new Space 4X, real-time 4X game from Paradox Development Studio. We have been waiting for it for a while. Excited, all that. I have about 4 hours in the game, maybe closer to 5, I don't know. But still, I don't have my head wrapped around all mechanics. I haven't had a chance to try out everything, but this will be a little bit better than blind, because blind stuff on games is complicated. It can be a little bit hectic. So we are going to just move forward here. I'm actually going to adjust my mic just a little bit here so we don't have too much of an issue. All right, wonderful. So we're going to go with a new game. We have United Nations of Earth. Now each faction, and these aren't based just around species. So for instance, there's a Commonwealth of Man, which is also mammalian, right? We're just going to go with human on that one. Actually, that's not necessarily the case. These are humans, they're mammalians. These, for example, are mammalian, but there's Scudari? Is that, it's a fungoid, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Molluscoid, which is actually kind of a cool word. I think I saw a hentai that started out like this. Arthropod, etc. Avian, reptilian, etc. Okay, so you can also create a new one, which I've not done. That's kind of interesting. So we'll go with a pre-made one for now. So they each have these like traits, right, that they're really into. These can change, I believe. So for instance, United Nations of Earth, which is what I've played before, they're xenophile, which means they love aliens. So we actually get a minus 10% to xenophobia, and we get better energy credits. We have pretty much zero tolerance for slavery. And actually, I'm sorry, it's minus 100%, so it's actually a negative. That wouldn't be a zero, would it? And ethics divergence, which is actually something that I have actually not been able to totally experience yet. I believe that these here are like ethics type stuff, and I think that they can change. So for instance, xenophile, for example, I believe that how it says minus 10% to xenophobia, I think xenophobia is actually an ethics thing that can change, that your entire population can change, move towards or away from, right? And this has that ethics divergence plus 10%, I think, means that there's a higher percentage chance with, you know, each tick that it would normally check, that there's a 10% higher chance that it can happen. So again, I'm still learning this stuff, again, 4 or 5 hours, which in a game like this is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. So we're also nomadic, because we're humans. These are, I believe these are more political things, right? These are based a lot on our government type, which is indirect democracy, all right? These are based on our racial stuff. So quick learners, so we get faster experience gain on leaders, and we're nomadic, so we migrate and resettle faster than normal, which is awesome. All right, so this, I played this one already. Ooh, can you change this? No. Now this, on the other hand, are humans, but they're military dictatorship and they're xenophobes, right? So they have a plus 10% to xenophobia as opposed to a minus 10%. And they're okay with alien slavery. Not completely, it's not like a shoe-in, but they have a 50% positive modifier to slavery tolerance for aliens. Not other humans, but for aliens. And this looks quite, you know, we'll just go with the go-to for any totalitarian blah 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 blah. You know, it's like, oh look, here's what we want. We want it to look like the Nazis, but not really the Nazis, but close, you know. So there we go. All right. Sadly, I've always liked that kind of branding, like the way it looks. Unfortunately, it always points back to that specific period, which sucks. Okay, so these guys are assholes, by the way. The Zen Empire, they're collectivists. I mean, at least in the game I played, they're collectivists, right? Which means they have slavery tolerance, same thing, but that's for anyone. And their food consumption is lower, probably because they have higher consumption efficiency, I would say, which I don't think is actually a stat. I'm just saying that because they're collective, they probably handle food distribution better than governments and species, which have a lot of individualism. Which, by the way, on the indirect democracy, they're fanatic individualists, right? So they're a lot less likely. That's why they're against slavery, right? Because they want that individualism. Hardcore. They're collectivists. That's pretty much the anti. In fact, when you come in contact with these, if you're playing the United Nations of Earth, I believe that's a significant negative modifier to your relationship. It's like -40, and it's because they I think they call it individualistic rabble or something like that. So divine mandate, despotic hegemony, which is interesting, fanatic collectivists, right, which means they would be pretty much directly opposed to a fanatic individualists, etc. Okay, so you get the point. And each of these has not unique, they're not unique, right, but they have specific things that they can do. So for like these guys have warp travel, whereas these guys actually have wormhole travel. They can actually open up wormholes, which is interesting. I think this is actually more stable and faster, and this is a little bit more loose. All right. So, direct democracy. I don't know what we should actually try here. I'm interested in trying like a militaristic one because I did that before. Slow breeders. Growth time is +15. Oh, interesting. Fanatic pacifist. Okay. Science directorate. Oh, that's interesting. Individualists. Fanatic materialists. Physics output. Society output. Engineering output. Oh yeah, okay, so they're just really into science hardcore. Sculoid ships. Hyperspace travel. Hypertravel allows ships to temporarily breach the dimension of hyperspace and sort of travel is fast but limited to existing paths along the hyperlane network. Alright. Laser weapons fire focus beam of light at targets, causing damage through generation of intense heat. The repugnant other species happiness -1%. That's where that hentai thing comes in. Industrious minerals, engineering output. Ooh, I like these guys. Ooh, I like them. Okay. And their world looks cool. We're gonna arid. We're gonna go with these guys. Just select. Okay, galaxy size, medium. That's fine. It's big. Trust me. That's what she said. AI Empire 17 for advanced AI starts for you know, this particular, well, you know what, we're just gonna leave this on normal for now. I usually don't like this. I think this is kind of like Lucky Nations in EU4. Iron Man mode, no. Allow FTL method. This actually just allows you to say, okay, we only want a specific type of FTL because it does change the gameplay. So it is cool that they put that in there. Difficulty normal. We're gonna go play. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Hey, we got through the startup in only 9 minutes. Amazing. All right. So, in the eon since the first primitive Chinorr communities took shape in the dry canyons and mesas of Chikora, our civilization has spread and prospered. Through scientific progress, we have managed to stomp out the superstitions that ruled the minds of our ancestors. As reason and rational thought spread among our people, the inefficient nation states that we had until then organized ourselves into were disbanded, and a council of our most accomplished scientists was gathered to rule in their stead. Wow, this sounds like a place I'd like to live. Now, after the discovery of the hyperlane network, the finest minds of the Chinorr Stellar Union have finished development of the first hyperdrives. Wow. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. That yawn, I should point out, is actually relative, right? I'm very low on sleep because I was up so late playing Stellaris. So, there we go. All right, so we're going to begin.
Greetings, Director. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence developed by the finest minds of our civilization to serve as your advisor. I shall endeavor to perform my duties with the utmost efficiency.
All right, so we're going to probably shut this thing down. That's awesome. All right. So if you do the tutorial, at some point he pretty much informs you that he has a suspicion that he is your only true friend, which is quite sad and possibly right. All right, so this is our system. We can come out to about this far. I'm scrolling out, right? You scroll out, that's about as far as you can get. These are other systems around us, okay? This is a different type of travel. I'm used to the warp, so I'm not exactly sure how this works, so we'll have to wiggle around and see how we do. This is a planet, and there are a few things that kind of bug me about the UI in Stellaris thus far, but not anything horrible. You kind of just got to get used to it. We will figure out the first one here soon. So let's open up our situation log, which we have no entries for because we don't have any set here. So this is a science vessel. You'll notice by the little science symbol there. This is a construction vessel, which you can tell there. This is actually a fleet, a military fleet, right? And we have all these, we have 3 corvettes and no one's actually leading them at the moment, but that's okay. This is our planet view. This is our governor. Habitability, this doesn't have to be 100% for you to inhabit a planet. I'm not sure exactly what this does. I assume it, a lower number provides some type of negative modifiers to output. I have not actually seen that, where that happens. I haven't seen it listed anywhere yet. It's an arid world. You can terraform stuff, but it requires tech, obviously. This is our resource output. The resources in the game are energy credits, which is pretty much money. It actually talks about it is actually a currency that is backed by energy. So if you think of currencies on Earth, not as much now, but used to, most of our paper, like our paper currencies or our coin currencies, were backed by something like gold or silver, right? These are actually backed by energy, which is an interesting way to do it. And I would actually like to read more. Paradox. I wish you guys would publish a paper exactly on how you think the energy-backed currency works in the galactic economy. I would find that a very interesting read. All right, these are mineral outputs. Minerals are used for pretty much like building everything. So ships, buildings, spaceports, etc. This is influence, and influence is used for things that require influence, right? Sometimes influence is used to make deals. Sometimes influence is used to end wars. Sometimes influence is used to expand borders, which we'll get into. But most things usually cost a collection of these, right? Whatever they may be. This is our sciences. We have physics, society, and engineering. So I assume that maybe society would be considered a soft science, but I'm one that likes to think of social sciences as quite important in and of themselves. Here we have these are actual outputs that are available on this planet. So these minerals, obviously, we also have food, and actually the only extra one here that you don't have over here is the actual food. So let's go over here and look at surface. Now, one of these exists for every planet. Now, the interesting thing is that, let's see here, these are actually population, right? And when I say their population, if you see a character in here, it's population. Now, when a planet starts to grow, you'll see one of these, but they'll be kind of translucent. And there'll be a progress bar as they start, they kind of grow into place, I guess. This is producing 5 energy right now, and for instance, 4 mineral, 4 food here. Now, you'll notice that also behind them, and they don't have to have one, so I see there isn't one here. Behind them, there could be a building, and this says planetary administration. This says power plant. So this power plant is producing 3 energy, but there was probably 2 produced here already. So for example, this, if I just put someone here without a building, we'll get this 1 engineering research by itself. These buildings can be upgraded. So if we have a power plant 1, you can get a power plant 2 when you have the tech for it, and you can upgrade it. All right, and there's also, and I'm not sure exactly how these work yet, there are adjacency bonuses. So we're getting a mineral output of +1, +2 food, and +1 energy because of this being here, but I'm not sure exactly how that works. This may be documented somewhere, or they may just like want you to figure it out on your own, which would be fine. That's cool. These are blocked currently, so like sprawling slums, industrial wasteland, etc. So for instance, we could go in here, we could be like, you know what, we want this, and we could clear it, and that would cost this much energy, this many minerals, and it would take this amount of time. Not a whole long time, but I believe this is days. So some things in the game are listed as months, and I believe these are actually days. So, you know, about 3 months, roundabout. All right, so we don't have any more population right now as it is. This is actually just arid terrain, so there's nothing there. What we may want to do, let me see here. Science output 555. We're making 3 energy. Let's wait on this at the moment. This is our army, so this is on planet. Now the cool thing is when you actually have an encounter, a military encounter, you actually have these 3 things. This is space, this is like orbit. This is atmosphere, and this is actually on the ground. And things can be happening in all of those. It's actually quite interesting the way it happens. Pretty interesting stuff. I've only done that a few times. And this is Spaceport, which we do have a Spaceport here. You do not automatically get one. And this one starts with a laser defense module. Usually when you build a Spaceport, you have to choose which module to start with. Right now, that's probably the only one we have, yeah. Now we can build here. We can build our corvette, a construction ship, or a science ship, right? And we can also do an upgrade when we have the minerals for it. But that's it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, though, is that each of these, not each, but each planet has the potential to have things that you might want on it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to choose our science vessel. I'm just going to right-click on this star and do survey system. I think you can right-click on any of them, but you can survey the star as well, which is interesting. So we're going to unpause the game. Oh, actually, first of all, we're going to repause. We're going to here, and this is our research. Now, we get to actually assign scientists. These are actually scientists, and you'll notice that this one under traits, he has an expertise in voidcraft, whatever that is, right? Actually, does let me, I actually see it here, but let me see here. What is his name? Gethmar. So if we look at Gethmar, where is he? Gethmar. So here, he has expertise in voidcraft, which means his research speed on things that involve voidcraft is going to be 10% higher, right? So we're going to do here. Now, the weird thing about Stellaris is that there's not really, at least visibly, it's not exposed, at least. There's not a tree, right? It's weird. It's like it gives you a selection, and then it'll give you more after you do one of these. And I'm not sure exactly how it picks them. I've like seen things pop up, and I'm like, do I want this one or this one? I'm like, I'll go this one. And then this one doesn't show up till like 5 techs later. Right, it's interesting how it works. So right now we can do solar panel network, blah, blah, or energy storage capacity. Well, what I would like to get, you know what, that might be society. Hold on, let's see here. Yes, this is society. We're gonna do New Worlds Protocol, which you pretty much want to do first because this gives you access to a colony ship. Right, so we're gonna throw that in there. This is gonna take 71 months. We're going to, now this is a solar panel. This is actually a module which goes on, I believe, your spaceport, and allows you to pretty much, you don't have to pay an energy upkeep on the spaceport. It pretty much, it's solar panel, so it gets its energy by itself. It's self-sustaining on the energy side is what it really comes down to. Global energy management. This is an empire modifier, okay? So our storage capacity for energy goes up by 500. You'll notice that we have a max of 2,500 right now. Field modulation. This is, well, this unlocks power plant 2. Remember I was talking about on the surface so you can upgrade buildings? This unlocks power plant 2, which is interesting. So we might actually want to do this eventually, but not right now. I think right now I would prefer to have a physics lab. Let's grab that. Now, engineering. Defense platform. This is actually, see how it says unlock station? This is actually a station that you can build. So for example, let's see here, let me close these for a second. If I go in here and I grab my builder, right? And I like right click over here. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, is it because I have no stations at all? It's possibly because I have no stations at all. When you have stations, you can right click like over here, right? And it'll have a little pop-up and it'll say move to or build defense station, right? And you can build them out. They don't have to be attached to a gravity well like a planet, which is nice. But we can't do that at the moment. But if we research this, we then can. Ion thruster, engineering facility, power plant. I'm thinking we might go with, this is actually a building component would be nice. This actually, I think this actually generates engineering research. Let's go with this. I think we're going to go pretty research heavy because that's kind of like, you know, their thing. It's their thing. Okay, so we got that. We've set them to survey, which is what they're going to do. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. And actually, we're going to see one of the UI things that kind of bug me a little bit about Stellaris, but I get it. This is a bad example, but I'll show you here soon. All right, so he's going to go and he's going to survey this, right? And from this view, I kind of expect him to go, I've paused it, I kind of expect him to go like to the planet, but no, he's way up here. Right? I mean, like, that's a long freaking way. I mean, I get it. It throws me off. And there's several things like that in the in the UI in this area, that it's like the stuff goes somewhere. I'm like, wait, where are they? Oh, okay. And like, there's another thing, which we'll see in a minute, which I'll show you, which
Anomaly
is kind of
found.
All right, so I'm going to pause this for a second. So in surveying this planet, he found an anomaly. Now, I can say research this. Right? Or I can say leave it be for now, which is probably what we'll do at the moment. Now, they just found something interesting about that. Now, this thing is there's an anomaly level, and there's a failure risk, which is 0 right now. Some people, let's see. I don't think he's one of them. Wait, adaptable. I don't know if that's one of them. Anyway, some scientists have a increased research speed on anomalies, and they usually come with also a lower failure risk, right? Now, if they fail, okay, if they fail, which they wouldn't on this because it's 0, if they fail, there's a chance that they may die, or you may even lose the entire ship, depending on what happens. Right now, we're going to leave it for now, because I want him to actually go and do all this surveying. So he's probably going to see, he's going to survey this, but you wouldn't know it really by looking at that. Because, yeah. Now, I can do this too, but it's just a long way. I wish it was just a little bit closer. Okay, have we found anything interesting yet? No, not yet. There's nothing here, no resources. All right, so he's gonna come over here. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. This is pretty much how this starts. Nothing there either. That's unfortunate. Come on.
Situation log updated.
Okay, so this is an alien vessel right here. Now, here's what happens. So we encounter this alien vessel. It's probably not hostile. It usually will say it's hostile. We know pretty quick, right? And we've just named it Alpha Aliens at the moment because we don't have a name for them. So I can do interesting, right? Blah blah blah. They come across intelligent alien life. Blah, blah. Okay, so now if I go into my situation log, which is pretty much kind of like a quest log, okay, I can do investigate Alpha Aliens available. Now this is going to take 180 days. Now this is society research, so. As an example, this guy who's working on this New Worlds protocol, if I hit research, he will stop working on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this just to show you, and you'll notice that it's going to start counting down. But if we go over here, you'll notice that he's busy with this special project. So you kind of got to make a call. It's not like, oh, let's research everything. Let's just do it immediately. You got to manage them because you only have one scientist assigned to that particular field of science. I assume that's supposed to be somewhat of a census, you know. There we go. Now we have 2 energy right here. That's not what I want, but that's fine. Cool, he gained a level. He is now... Oh no, he was already adaptable, so he didn't gain a trait. And kind of like CK2, they can get negative traits. I've actually had a scientist get... Wow, this system sucks. This is the only thing that has...
Special project complete.
All right, so the Spaceport Lifeform, which are the Chinorr head, which the Chinorr head of society research has come to refer to as the Tyanki, are docile creatures capable of accessing some lower dimension of subspace. They roam from system to system with relative ease, though nearly the same ease as Chinorr fleets. Blah 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 blah. Pretty much, they are. They will rarely, if ever, attack. Even when provoked, they can safely be ignored. Hunting them would be a net loss anyway. Right, so we're not. That's not going to be a problem. All right. I will tell you something fun about Stellaris that I figured out. Enough that I almost tweeted about it, but I didn't want. I didn't know how far to get to the line of breaking my embargo. They have comment cited, you know, like in EU4. There's a comment cited in here, but it actually gives a positive effect. Actually gives a happiness instead of a stab hit, which is pretty cool. All right, so what we're gonna do here. Ooh, you can go all the way. That's pretty cool. Actually, I like that view. I like that view. Actually, I'm gonna go just a little bit like this. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab our construction. Okay, we're gonna right click here, we're going to do build mining station. So he's going to go over here and he's going to build it. We're going to start mining 2 energy per hit, per tick, whatever, per month, whatever. Now, what we need to do is this guy has, we should be able to look at the ship details here. This is our science ship, right? It's hyperdrive, which is great because that means that we can be like, hey, first of all, let's go to our galaxy map. Just to be clear, remember, this is a medium-sized galaxy. So, yeah. So, I can either go on here, I can like click here, or I can go up here, and this is our science vessel. Oop, is it? We want science. There we go. And I can go, hey, come over here, and I can say survey system. And I can unpause, and we can even watch him. And what he's going to do is he's going to get to the edge of our system, boom, go over there, and immediately what's going to happen is he's going to start surveying this entire system, which is going to be helpful. Now, I think what I can do is I can then hold down shift, survey that, and then survey that, and then probably survey this, and then we'll see how things are going. Ooh, and then probably survey this over here. Survey that. That looks like a singularity. We'll see how that goes. And in the meantime, while he's doing that, we are building this over here. She's building right here. Now, also, one of the things that happens that you can do over here, there are edicts. Okay, now this is a planetary governor. We only have one planet, and there's a governor on it. You have, let me see here, where's they? Where is they? No. No. Oh, by the way, there's a ship designer. Boop. But we aren't gonna mess with that at the moment. Technology, where are my stuffs? No. Oh, here we go, leaders, yes. So, you see governors. We can do a recruit, and to recruit costs influence. And you'll know we have leaders 5 of 11. So, and leaders include scientists and admirals and generals and governors, planetary governors, right? So this guy he gives engineering, physics, and society output plus 10% on all these. So we could change him out for someone else. That would be cool, which we may do at some point. But is this done yet? Plus we can click on him and actually see a percentage right here. I'd like to see a progress bar on here. That would be nice. But you can also see it here, which is probably why they don't have a progress bar there. So that's fine. You'll notice the science ship over here. He's doing his stuff. See? It's in the list. He's doing his stuff. Okay, so now this is a mining station. And you'll notice that this is turned green. So we now are getting 2 extra energy each month from this. Now, when I was playing the United Nations of Earth, there were like 5 planets in the system that had stuff on them. It was great. I actually got pushed back in a war to my home system, and I held out and ended up winning the war. Well, it was a draw, but that was because of weird mechanics. I could have won it. But yeah, so now one of the things that I don't really like as much, although you can tell the difference a little bit, I'm just noticing I might have been tired, is that these icons look a lot alike when you're looking for them on the map. But this one actually has a wrench and a screwdriver, and this one has a pick and a shovel. So I guess that you can't see that. So I'm just gonna leave him right there for a moment. Doesn't matter. Let's look at our research. It's going pretty good. The other guy's surveying. Now, if we come over here, the cool thing is I can click on the construction ship, boop, and it will immediately show. See how it says energy 2? That's there, but it's green, so we know that we're okay. He hasn't found anything else yet here.
System survey complete.
Okay, so that's surveyed, and we found some other people there. So, no, let's see here. Wow, there was nothing here. Wow, this is like hardcore. Oh, there we go. Found some there. Now that is actually society output, right? So, what's cool is that when he's done here, there's not that many. There's you go. There's some physics research. Now the thing is, these mining stations cost upkeep. I can't talk. So the cool thing is I can go in here and I can be like, oh, here's my construction site, and I can just right click on this star and just do like build research stations. 180 minerals is just gonna do it. It's gonna go build all of them. So he's gonna move over there and he's gonna do it. We're gonna continue surveying, and then we're gonna start pumping some money into military, because I got caught with my pants down in my last game, and that's not gonna happen again. But We're pushing 30 minutes right now, so I'm going to put a cut here. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is Stellaris. It looks to be a great game. Many hours of fun ahead, and that's great. My name is Spot. I'll see you next time. If you liked the video, give it a like. If not, give it a dislike. Leave a comment. Let me know why. Always good to get better. And that's about it. Bye-bye.
We're going for the moon.
Hey there, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. If you'd like to see more, just click subscribe. I hope to see you next time.